Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles, and I love helping trainers, presenters, facilitators really take their results to the next level. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about the topic of feedback. And unfortunately, feedback is a really tricky thing to receive well. And one of the reasons for that is that as a trainer, presenter, we all have a couple of things going against us. Number one, an addiction to acknowledgement and validation. We all want to receive good quality feedback. But the second part of that is that we all have such a strong desire to get it right and do the right thing by our learners and really do the very best that we can. And so when we receive negative feedback or even great feedback, we really need to be able to receive it well. And if we want to really succeed and grow as a trainer or presenter, we need to be able to strategically self reflect so that we can really grow in our performance. So, in today's video, I want to talk to you a couple of things about how you receive feedback well and also strategically reflect. But before we get into those topics, I want to talk to you about a couple of empowering beliefs that will really help you set yourself up for success so that you know that you are growing as a person, but also you are comfortable to go out there and continue to show up as your very best. So here are three empowering beliefs that will really help you as a trainer presenter. Number one, every presentation that you do is practice for the next. Every presentation that you do is practice for the next. All right. It's really important that you have that, I guess, mindset in mind as you go out delivering your content. The second belief is that there is no such thing as a perfect presentation. There isn't. There's no such thing as a perfect one. There is only the perfect presentation for that group, okay, or that audience. Now, last of all, last empowering belief that you really want to entertain and absorb and take on is that of the more I present, the more confident I get. The more I present, the more confident I get. And this is a really powerful belief because the more you ingrain that belief, the more you're going to go out there and seek opportunities to run workshops, to be a trainer, and to be really supportive of your audience and really create great results for the groups that you work with. Now, let's jump to the topic of receiving feedback. Now, what we often find when feedback forms is there's a couple of things that go on. A couple of things that go on. What we often find is that when someone fills out the form, lo and behold, the form is often a reflection or representation of that person's experience as they've gone through your training. But it is not a true reflection of your training. It is simply a representation of that person's journey. So, for example, if they came in positive and were happy and they enjoyed it and they had great expectations and they had generally a good experience, that form's going to look as if that's what happened. But we need to also remember that if somebody had preconceived negative ideas about the topic, if somebody came in and they had maybe a bad morning prior to your training, or maybe they had a bad interaction with other participants, it could be anything at all. And what we need to appreciate is that form, when they fill it out, it's not about you, it's about their experience. And we need to factor that in mind as we read through the feedback forms. Now, often what we also find is that people that participate the most will fill out the feedback form in a very positive manner. The people that participate the least will often fill it out in the least positive manner, so to speak. And the other thing that we often find as a human tendency is that if we are teaching 20 people and 19 fill it out really positively, but one person fills it out negatively, as we all know, as humans, we all focus on that one. We all focus on that one negative student, that negative comment. And as a human that really wants to grow and develop, we really need to be very strategic in what we focus on. So let's take a look at some guidelines and some parameters. So the first thing I do want to suggest that you do is after you've completed a workshop, shelve the feedback. Shelve it. What I mean by that is put it on a shelf for a couple of days and then go back and look at it after 2 or 3 days. And the reason I say this is going to allow you some time and space to detach from whatever happened. Detach from any of the really great positive or the really great or the negative, whatever it may be. You need to detach so that when you do look at it, you are not offended, you're not upset, you are not overly excited, that you can just step back and look at the feedback in an objective way. Now, when we are looking at that feedback, we do need to strategically self reflect because it's a self reflection and the ideas and the concepts and the way that we perceive ourselves that will really determine how fast we grow as a trainer and presenter. So, here are 3 questions that you can ask in your self reflection. Number one, what am I really happy about? What am I really happy about that I did in this training? Now, that could be in a day session or a half-hour session, or it could be any kind of session. What am I really happy about with what I just did? What am I really happy about? Or what went really, really well that I want to solidify in my mind? And I want to suggest that you write those things down or write a minimum of one thing down. Now, the second question that you want to use in your strategic self-reflection is the following. If I ever did that session or that workshop again, what's one thing I would do differently? And you want to ask yourself this question at the end of each day or at the end of the entire event. But I really want to encourage you. Ask yourself the question, if I ever did XYZ again, what's one thing I would do differently? Notice I didn't say improve, I said do differently. And you really want to get into the habit of thinking, how can I tweak? How can I tweak? How can I tweak to make even better for next time? Now, the third question that you may want to pose to yourself, and this is the question that you may want to pose when you do get that negative feedback or that feedback that's a little bit hard to swallow. This question is a little bit challenging. It's a bit of pill to swallow, but it's a really powerful question. And the question is the following. Say you've had some negative feedback. It happens. The question to ask yourself is, what is this person trying to show me that I may be resisting, that if I do take on and accept, could really help me develop and grow as a trainer and presenter? I'll say it again. What is this person trying to show me that I may be resisting, that if I took on could help me become an even better trainer and presenter? Now, when you write down the answer to that question, it may hurt. It may be something you completely disagree with. But at the same time, it may be something that you could really take a look at over time and go, okay, cool. Could there be other people that say this? Could there be ways that this thing could be impacting other people or even impacting me, but I'm completely unaware of it? And when you start to just meditate on it from a very constructive angle, you will be able to truly take the value from that feedback and potentially use it as a catalyst to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen again in the future, which is really cool. But if we look at that feedback and we go, no, 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 and we shut it down, that is game over for us. All right. So hopefully you got some value from this video. As we all know, feedback is the breakfast of champions, as they say, but well-received feedback is the stuff that really accelerates your growth as a trainer or presenter. And we can't completely say no to it. We always have to look at it, but we have to look at it in the right way. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, send this video around there, and make sure that we really get strategic in how we receive feedback and we see the value from it. Yes, the form may have issues. Yes, there may be, stuff that's a problem with the feedback. Maybe it's not written in the best way possible. But at the end of the day, we look at the feedback and we then strategically self-reflect to get the most out of it. As I said, there's no such thing as perfect presentation. Every presentation is practice for the next one. And the more you present, the better you get. On that note, folks, thanks for watching the video and have fun as you go out there, share your message, and let's change the world. On that note, thanks for watching. Bye for now.